An Addams Family spin-off directed by Tim Burton? Could things get any more gothic? It's time for Wednesday, which is released on a Wednesday.
Nevermore was created as a safe haven for our children to learn and to grow, no matter who or what they are.
Hello and welcome to Screen OD, the channel for people who love TV, movies and streaming. My name's Tim. I'm an editor and a journalist who's been writing and talking about the media industry for more than 15 years. Now, the Addams Family has certainly been part of TV and movie culture for far more than 15 years, and these are always going to be big boots to fill when you go down the Addams Family route. There's been some classic Addams Family on screen in the past, but with Tim Burton at the helm and the excellent Jenna Ortega taking on the role of Wednesday Addams, we are in for a treat in this latest 8-part Netflix series.
Should we meet your new roommate?
Are you feeling okay? You look a little pale.
Please excuse Wednesday. She's allergic to color.
Oh, wow. What happens to you? I break out into hives and then the flesh peels off my bones.
Okay, so what's this one all about? Well, you've probably guessed, because everyone watching this channel is a genius. I know that this is a series about Wednesday Addams, because of course the title is Wednesday, and it very pleasingly does come out on a Wednesday, so well done to Netflix for doing that. This series focuses on a teenage Wednesday Addams who has been thrown out of quite a lot of schools, it turns out, because she is, I think it's fair to say, somewhat of a sociopath, and she's been involved in some pretty nasty business along the way. Right, so she's been thrown out of so many places, there is nowhere left for her to go to school than Nevermore Academy, which just so happens is where her mother also went to school and was dorm mates with the person who is now the headmistress of the academy. I know there's lots of connections going on here from the world of ghosts and ghouls, but the problem is Wednesday Addams, even though she's going to a school like Nevermore, is someone who doesn't really ever fit in. And this is an academy full of people who don't fit in anywhere, and still she finds a way to stand out.
I act as if I don't care if people dislike me. Deep down, I actually enjoy it. There's just something wrong about this place. Not just because it's a school.
Now, it's not a spoiler to say that Wednesday's path through Nevermore Academy is not necessarily going to be a smooth one, and there is one particularly large overarching threat to her throughout this too. In the 8-part series, we are going to see a coming-of-age story, but also tempered by the fact that Wednesday Addams is someone who is already very sure of herself. However, she does have vulnerabilities, and these are things that are going to be explored in this dark, gothic and ghoulish series, as you would expect from the mastermind director who is behind the camera.
Secret societies, hidden libraries, a homicidal monster. What other surprises are in store?
Uncle Fester.
I like to travel incognito. Come on, let's roll!
From the moment you start watching Wednesday, you know that you're watching something that's got Tim Burton's fingerprints on it. Now, if you're a fan of the dark and the gothic, which I assume you are, which is why you're watching something based on the Addams Family, then Tim Burton is going to be a seal of approval for most people. This is a show that definitely feels like it's got his input into it. It's got the darkness, it's got the kind of creepiness, but also there is a great pacing to the show and a sense of space and air where it's needed to keep you interested but also intrigued as to what might happen next. This is a beautiful looking production on screen, as you probably expect from the combination of Burton and Netflix working together, and it's also a show that on every level has some great performances. At the heart of it, you have an outstanding central performance from Jenna Ortega, who plays Wednesday Addams. Now, you may know her from things like You and from Scream, but also in our family, a very popular film that she was in a few years ago, Yes Day. Jenna Ortega is fantastic in this role. It's not an easy role to take on. It's, of course, one that's been made very famous by Christina Ricci in the movie version of The Addams Family, and to step into those shoes and to take on the angst, to take on the ghoulish kind of original goth spirit of this character is certainly not an easy one, but it's something that Ortega does and takes to the next level, because this is something that she's got to do across a full 8 parts of a series, and also take on storylines that are very different to those that Wednesday Addams has been on before.
Nevermore continues to be a place where the questions far outweigh the answers. I won't stop until I find the truth.
And speaking of Christina Ricci, if you were a fan of her performance in the movie version of The Addams Family, do not despair, because yes, she's back. She is in the series as Miss Thornhill, who is a dorm mistress in Nevermore Academy. So there is a moment relatively early on in the series where you see her head-to-head with Jenna Ortega, and you know, that's a nice moment for those who are students of The Addams Family on screen, and a nice touch in a show that has lots of nice touches like that.
Good evening, girls. I'm Miss Thornhill. I trust Enid has given you the old Nevermore welcome.
She's been smothering me with hospitality. I hope to return the favor. In her sleep.
And it's not just Ortega who is good in this series. You've got a fine performance from Gwendoline Christie, who of course you'll know from Game of Thrones fame, amongst many other things, who plays Principal Larissa Weems of the Nevermore Academy, who actually, as we mentioned before, went to school with Wednesday's mum, Morticia. And speaking of Morticia, she's played by Catherine Zeta-Jones, and there's a good bit of interplay between Ortega and Zeta-Jones in this kind of mother-daughter teenage relationship stuff that's going on. It wouldn't be The Addams Family either without there being a Gomez, who on this occasion is played with aplomb, although relatively small part, by Louis Guzman. This is a show that will have Addams Family fans, I think, enjoying themselves, because it takes you somewhere different. It takes you on a slightly different journey. Now, there's a kind of feeling of this being a bit more Netflixy, I guess. There's a bit more of the teen drama element to it, it being set in a school. It's not sex education, and you know, it's going down the road, I guess, of a bit more of a Harry Potter feel to it. So if you like the kind of the darkness of Addams Family, if you like that kind of gothic element that you get from a Tim Burton film, but you also kind of want a little bit of the more of the magic and the mystery that comes from Harry Potter, I think you've got all of that combined here in something that explores teen angst and growing up, and at the heart of it just has some really good acting and some fun.
I know the suspense is killing you.
I think Wednesday is going to be a really big hit across the globe, and if you like this genre of television and you're a fan of the work of Tim Burton and you want to see a great lead performance from Jenna Ortega with a great set of cast around her, this is a show that you should definitely be trying out. Thanks so much for watching Screen OD. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, why not hit that like button? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more reviews and much more. We'll see you again very soon.